All proportions stop. Shot! Scores! Coburg wins the RBC Cup!
Well, this is the OJ Today. What's up, everyone? I'm Alex Bastyovanszky. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. Lots of cool stuff on this week's program, including an interview with OJ alumnus and current forward with the Columbus Blue Jackets, Justin Danforth. It's coming up later on in the show. But first, highlights. And the CHCH Game of the Week is back. 5 contests will be broadcast coast to coast this season. And things kicked off last week with Coburg hosting the powerful North York Rangers. Highlights now. And they're brought to you by Instat. Instat is the official analytics provider to the OJHL. So it's the Rangers and Cougars that are first up on the CHCH schedule this season. Broadcast coast to coast, the first of 5 games that will be shown. And new hosts Jack Moore and Alan Corkum taking the reins. The Rangers strike first here.
Played ahead, but was knocked away by Jack Hewitt. Now here's a chance for the Rangers. In on goal, scores!
Just a $1.57 into the contest, and NYR were up 1-0. 4 minutes later, they make it 2. Joseph Leonti, the sweet backhander, and the Rangers were off and running, leading by 2. 2 minutes after that, North York's top scorer this season, Max Donahue, banging home the rebounds. What a first period for NYR, up 3-0. Coburg manages to get one back in the second. Weird one. Justin Jamer just kind of bats it in from a bad angle, and unfortunately for the Cougars, that is all the offense they could get on this day as the Rangers just continue to cruise. They take down the Cats by a 4-1 final score. A reminder, the next broadcast of the game of the week will be Saturday, February 19th, Pickering taking on Aurora, 3 p.m. puck drop for that one. Okay, on Friday, the Cougars were in Trenton taking on the Golden Hawks. There were some absolute beauties in this game. Devin Morrow with the itchy trigger finger right there, top shelf to give the G-Hawks the opener, but the Cats would respond. William Nguyen makes the save, but Adam Barone pounces on the big, fat, juicy, delicious rebound. 1-1, second frame. Justin Easter getting caught in no man's land. The keeper can't find the puck. Jake Campbell does, though. 2-1 for the G-Hawks. 2 minutes later, pretty passing. Tic-tac-toe. Matthew Cato, the big finish in Trenton, taking the 2-goal advantage, but back comes Coburg. Andy Reist. Look at the mustard on that shot. Ooh. Top shelf. 3-2. Now, George Cotiris just committed to Robert Morris University, and he gives the Colonials just a little taste of what they'll be getting. George, super soft hands. And this one was all knotted up, 3-3. We pick it up in the third now, tied 4-4. Cato breaking bottles as he goes top shelf for his second of the night, and that would prove to be the game winner as the Golden Hawks squeeze out the win over their bitter rivals and take it 5-4. Okay, Aurora in Stouffville to take on the Spirit. The Tigers trying to chase down Pickering for first in the North, but it's the Spirit that hit first. Carson Whitson off the feed from Ryan Cutler, but the Tigers respond. Anthony Decopoulos, don't blink. What a wrister. 1-1 at the break. Second stanza, Luke Reeve finding daylight past the keeper, and the Tigers on their way to 2 points, they think, but hold on. Cutler, ever the opportunist, pounces on the rebound, and the Spirit pull off a shocker. 30 points separate these teams in the standings, but they hold the powerful Tigers to a tie on this day. Okay, players, listen up. If you think you've got what it takes to play in the OJHL, get ready, get set. The OJHL Combine is your chance to strut your stuff in front of all 22 OJ clubs. The 5th annual Combine taking place between April 21st and 24th at the Wave Sports Complex in Burlington. There's spots for 132 players. You're guaranteed 3 games with real-time scoring. OJHLcombines.ca is where you go to register for the event. Okay, Performers of the Week now brought to you by Warrior. Warrior is the official hard goods supplier to the OJHL, and your goalie of the week is Selby Warren, who's already won this before this season, and he had a great one for the JRCs. 2 wins, including a shutout for the Canadians, who of course are trying to chase down North York for first place in the South Division. And it is a JRC sweep for the week as Tyler Fukakusa, also of the blue, red, and white, is your offensive player of the week. 8 points in 3 games for Tyler last week for the Junior Canadians. Hey, welcome back to the OJ Today. You know, one of the hottest teams in the league heading into last weekend was the Milton Menace. Now, they'd won 8 of 10 contests, and many of the victories were eye-opening, including 2 straight against West Division leading Burlington, cementing Milton's status as a rising power in the OJ when they were looking to make another statement against North Division leading Pickering on Sunday. Highlights now. Brought to you by Clean Quip. Clean Quip is the official disinfectant supplier to the OJHL. So Pickering was just ranked number 20 in Canada in the latest CJHL rankings, and the Cats were hungry in this one. Scoreless until the second. Dustin Hutton to Jake Partridge, and the Panthers led 1-0. They would add to it. Brutal giveaway by the D-man there. Lucas Rowe tickling the twine, going upstairs. 2-0 for Pickering. Third period, they were looking for some insurance, and they get it. Rowe. Look at the gorgeous pass right there to Christos Rhodes. He finishes in style. The Menace would add 1 in the third, but that is it as the Panthers take this one 3-1. The Halliburton Huskies taking on the Junior Canadians. Scoreless until the second frame. Matt Wild breaking in here, and he goes 5-hole to put the JRCs up 1-0, and then just $1:30 later, Carter Reel smashes home the juicy rebounds, and the home side stretches its advantage to 2 goals. But the Huskies showed fight. Oliver Tarr to Simon Rose, who shows his thorns by ripping the mesh, and it's 2-1. In the third, they draw even. Tarr playing setup men again, feeding Christian Stevens. 2-2, but with 14 seconds left on the clock, Christian Catalano muzzles the Dogs for good. That is the game-winning goal in the dying seconds. They pick up 2 huge points, taking down the Huskies by a 4-2 final. Okay, a West Division battle. The 99ers and Raiders have been jockeying for position all season long. Easton Wainwright getting the opener. Definitely deflected, but Brantford up 1-0. But the Raiders respond in the second. Reese Chittenden on the break, picks the top corner, and it's a 1-1 hockey game. And then just 30 seconds later, Kyle Kussman squeezing the shot past Ben Bonesteel, and G-Town had the lead, but the Man of Steel redeems himself in the third frame. One of the stops of the year right there on Owen Holmes, and worth a second look. Post to post in a jiffy, unreal. But the Raiders get the insurance they needed soon after. Tristan Mughal gets his first as a Georgetown Raider since coming over from Trenton to make it 3-1, and then it's the always entertaining, rarely seen triple hit. Bing, bang, boom. No love lost between these squads. Brantford would get 1 back, but it's not enough as Georgetown takes this one 3-2. Collingwood taking on the Markham Royals, already up 1-0 in the second. The Blues add to it. Marcus Lougheed hammering it past Nicholas von Kaufman, and it's 2-0 for the visitors. The Royals would cut that in half, though. Owen Halloran getting tippy out front. Beautiful redirection right there, and it's 2-1. 2 minutes later, though, Cam Garvey, the seeing eye point shot, and the Blues regain the 2-goal advantage. But then
Henry gets around Fitzpatrick. Henry, good move. Henry scored! That was dirty! Oh my!
Joe Montezano with the call. Caden Henry, filthy for sure, but Collingwood holds on to take it 4-3. Okay, CJHL rankings as of February 7th. Brooks still on top, but 3 OJ teams in the top 20. The Junior Canadians, the Rangers, and the Panthers, while the Trenton Golden Ox getting an honorable mention. OJ commitments to tell you about, and we talked about already George Krotiris of the Cobourg Cougars. Yes, he is going to be a Robert Morris Colonial starting in the fall of 2023, and Krotiris has been amazing this year for the Cats. The leading scorer currently on the Cobourg Cougars. Okay, 60-second spotlight now, and it's brought to you by Troy. Troy is the official apparel provider to the Ontario Junior Hockey League.
Zach Weigel, forward, Oakville Blades.
Just Weigel scores! And mamma mia, it's Zach Weigel again.
What I bring to the ice is I'm a two-way centerman. I play hard in the offensive and defensive zone, and I try to produce my best on offense.
Mamma mia, Zach Weigel gets another.
So the player I looked up to growing up was Patrice Bergeron. Great two-way center, great at draws, which is something I aspire to be like. So when I think about this team, I think about we got a ton of jokes on this team. The dressing room atmosphere is great. Everybody pulls pranks on each other, and we honestly just get along and bond really well. So this year, I think this team's going to have a deep, deep playoff run. I think we could honestly win it, and I think we're just going to have a ton of fun while doing it.
Tip down low, scores! And it's Zach Weigel who gets his first career Ontario Junior Hockey League action.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. Joining me today for our OJ alumni interview is a man who's had a long and winding road to get to where he is today, but man, has it been worth it.
Jackets win the faceoff. Roslovic won it. Jackets take the lead. First National Hockey League goal for Justin Danforth.
Justin Danforth had a fantastic OJHL career before moving on to the NCAA on a scholarship. He's one of the hardest workers in hockey, a great example to young players out there. He now plies his trade with the Columbus Blue Jackets. And he joins me now from Columbus, Ohio. Justin, thank you so much for taking the time today. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Well, it's awesome to have you on the show. And as I mentioned off the top, you have had a long and winding road to get where you are today. It's a fascinating story. It all began after minor hockey back in 2010 with the Cobourg Cougars in the OJHL. Just tell us why you ended up joining the team and how you ended up with them.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that, when I was 16 or 17, when I was doing all those tryouts and going to camps and trying to make a name for myself at a young age, my goal was always to play college hockey. I didn't really have the opportunities to go to the OHL. And I always really wanted to get an education to back my career. Yeah, when I went to Cobourg, I was made an AP my first year. Second year was actually given an opportunity under Marchman. And my game just started to kind of groom, and I started to understand how to be a coachable player, drop the ego and be a good teammate. And I think those two things were things that were able to, get me to the next level. And I had great coaches there. I had great teammates that I'm still best friends with to this day.
Well, Justin, you stated before that your time in the OJHL with the Cobourg Cougars was absolutely essential to you getting that scholarship with Sacred Heart University. Just tell us why it was so important, the time you spent in the OJHL and with the Cougars to your development as a hockey player.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for Cobourg being helping me get to the next step was a maturity factor. I think when you're 16, 17 years old, you're pretty immature. You don't really know what's going on. You're just kind of happy to get up in the morning and go play hockey. Being able to actually be put into a system that, almost like a pro system, playing 2-1-2 and stuff like that. You start to learn different parts of the game, and it starts to help your game. I'm grateful for the opportunity that I was given in Cobourg, because looking back, it was a huge part of my career.
Well, you went on and played 4 seasons at Sacred Heart University, as mentioned, on a scholarship. How did you enjoy your time at the school, and how did you find the adjustment to the college game coming out of juniors?
Yeah, I think whenever you jump from a league to a league, there's a huge adjustment. Like I feel like over my career, I've constantly jumped from league to league. If it was, East Coast AHL to Finland to Russia to the NHL, different tournaments along the way. I feel like every jump has their own challenges. I think with college, it was guys were just stronger and more detailed. That's what looking back, that's kind of what I figured was the biggest difference. I played with great players too that thought the game the same way as me. I was able to go to college with Evan Jasper, who I played with for 3 years in Coburg, and then I also played lacrosse with them growing up. So we had that chemistry right away. So that's kind of the biggest jump that's kind of what the biggest jump would be for me.
Justin, I just wanted to finish off with yours is an inspirational story for young hockey players for a couple of reasons. Number one, you're not a huge guy by any means. You're listed at 5'10", so you always had to work a little bit harder in that respect. And secondly, your route to get to the NHL, as we've mentioned, what advice do you have for young hockey players just on the path to get there and how it may not be ultimately the same for every player to get to their desired destination?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's always been a thing with me is playing hockey, playing lacrosse. Just because I heard so many people tell me along the way, like, you're too small. It just won't happen. Just the wrong error. For me, the biggest thing to overcome height was strength. That helped my game tremendously. There being multiple paths. I think that's the essence of my career. Honestly, if you look at my career, it was always, take the harder path. Not always by choice, but sometimes that's just all I had was, to take a harder route to get to where I wanted to be. For young kids who are, kind of on the same path as me or, trying to get to the NHL, don't worry about the draft. I mean, everyone wants to get drafted to the OHL, but it doesn't mean that you can't get to the same level that those guys are getting to. All my focus wasn't on the NHL. It was just, let's just keep getting better at hockey. Let's enjoy it. And let's see where it goes. You have to work, and you have to pay attention to details, and you have to show up every day.
Justin, I can sit here and ask you questions all day, man, but unfortunately we're out of time. But listen, I meant what I said. You're an inspiration to young players out there, man, and great example to follow. Really appreciate you taking the time to come on today. Thanks a lot, and all the best for the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you again for having me on. It was great.
Hey, welcome back to the OJ Today. The East Division has been just nuts this season. From first place to fifth, just 10 points separated the teams heading into last weekend, and all the squads boast a winning record. No team is safe this year in the East, and two of the division's biggest rivals squared off Monday when Coburg hosted Wellington. Highlights now, and they're brought to you by Warrior. Warrior is the official hard goods supplier to the OJHL. Just 4 points separating these teams in the East Division, and the Cougars just looked way hungrier in this one. Despite playing their third game in 4 days, AJ Cook making it 1-0 for the Cats, and then Zach Smith off to the races, using his teammate as a decoy, but finishing himself 3-0 Cats. Shorthanded marker there, and then another breakaway given up by the Dukes. Caleb Thompson juking and jiving, making no mistake, and it would be 6-0 at one point, and they cruised to the win, doubling up on the Dukes. 6-3 the final. This was a marquee matchup last weekend. First place in the South, North York, hosting second place Junior Canadians. Jaden Kandata, captain, my captain, draws first blood for the Rangers. They would make it 2, and then in the second, Isa Perek, sweet moves, feeds Daniel Baldessara out front. 3-0 for the Rangers. The Canadians finally break their goose egg. Ben Von Watershoot tipping it home, and they were on the board, but then super rookie George Fagaris showing off the hands that have him going to Cornell in 2023, crushing that one. 4-1 Rangers early in the third. Don't blink. Eric Vitale right off the face-off. And once again, just a 2-goal game, but Baldessara helping put this one away for North York. Intercepts the pass to the backhand, to the back of the net. Man, this guy has been good since coming over from the Chargers. Rangers win this clash of the Titans convincingly. 6-2 over the Junior Canadians. One more, another South Division matchup. St. Mike's and Mississauga, all buzzers. Josh McGinn getting it started. Gorgeous solo effort. And the double blue were up 1-0. And then it's the OJ's leading scorer getting in on the fun. Brad Summers absolutely undressing Julian Molinaro. 2-zip St. Mike's. The onslaught continued in the second. Jared Coccamiglio, watch this one. Oh, clinical. The finish over the shoulder of Molinaro. 3-0 double blue. They would add a couple more for good measure and blank the struggling Chargers. 5-0. Your final score in this one. Okay, OJ leaders now brought to you by NutriFarms. NutriFarms, the official sponsor of the OJHL Championship Series. And first a look at the scoring leaders. Summers continuing to lead the way, followed by Dalton Bancroft, Matt Zebedee, Bryce Sutherland, also of St. Michael's, and Oliver Tarr of the Halliburton Huskies. Standings now in the Southeast. North York, a tight lead over the Junior Canadians. In the East, also Trenton, only 2 points now over the Huskies in second place. And in the Northwest, Pickering, a healthy lead over second place Aurora in the North. In the West, though, crazy. Burlington looking good, but Milton, Brantford, Georgetown, Oakville, that is going to be just a dogfight the rest of the way this season. Plays of the week now, brought to you by Troy. Troy is the official apparel provider to the Ontario Junior Hockey League.
Up top, shot, juggled. Oh my! What a save!
Grabber, Lucas Rowe, a shot. What a pass from behind the net through the legs of the Milton defender.
Gets around Fitzpatrick. Henry, good move. Henry scored! That was dirty! Oh my!
Have to check. Those numbers have been circulating this year. Oh boy! Look at that play!
Justin Morrow, and away he comes. Dobrich dropped. Devin Morrow, backdoor. What a pass and what a goal. Tic-tac goal. Matt Cato, the finisher.
Chipped away there in the center of the ice. Scores! Oh, what a quick one.
And clear it. Tarr coming in, drops it off. Rose with a shot, scores.
Singer gave that away. Look out. Baldessara's got it. A backhand scores!
Broken up with the Raiders. They bring it back Ishmael. There's a pass. Bing, bang, boom. What a save by Bonesteel off the tic-tac-toe passing play.
Dolph sends it out off the stick of DeRazio. Reese now has a half-wall player, scores. Andy Reese with a rep top shelf.
And it's broken up. Here's a chance now. Coming away with now Thompson on a breakaway. Thompson's in. Thompson in. Shot. Score! That's a goal, and Thompson gives Coburg a 3-0 lead.
And that's going to wrap things up for this week. But just a reminder that all through the regular season and the playoffs, to stay up to date with everything that's going on in the OJHL, be sure to check out all of the league's different social media outlets. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week.